Hello, student. How are you? I hope you are well. Today is the fourth semester, first lesson. We discuss about the era of colonial and early colonial period, 1700 and 1839, and we discuss about the literature in this era, how to grow, how to improve, and how to different things of in this era. We discuss about the colonial period. The literature of the colonial and early colonial period 1700 to 1839 is a fascinating evolution of identity. It marks the transition from voice that were purely extension of European empire to the first stirring of distinct national literatures, particularly in the Americas and part of the Eastern colonies. During this era, writing was not just about art, it was a tool for survival, revolution, and nation buildings. The Enlightenment influenced 70,000 to 1770s century. In the early 18th century, literature was dominated by the age of reason. Writer moved away from the strict religious fervor of the 1600 Puritanism towards science, logic, and social improvement. Political pamphlet. Uh, this time, these were the social media of the 1700 in the American colonies. Writers like Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Paine used clear, persuasive prose to argue for civic virtue and eventually independence. Paine's Common Sense is perhaps the most influential pamphlet in history. The rise of the autobiography, Benjamin Franklin's autobiography, set the template for the self made man, shifting literature toward secular success and individual greed. Revolutionary and foundational literature 1775 to 1800. As colonies began to break away from their mother countries, literatures became a means of defining a new national soil. Documents as literature in the US, the Declaration of Independence and the Federalist Paper are studies not just for law but for their rhetorical brilliance. The slave narrative. This period saw the vital emergence of voices like Olada Ikwenu. His 1789 autobiography provided a harrowing first-hand account of the Middle Passage, using the civilized language of the colonizer to argue for the humanity of the enslaved. The Romantic shift and early national period 1800 to 1839. By the turn of the 19th century, the focus shifted from the head reason to the heart, emotion, and nature. This is often called the early national period. The search for local color. Writers began to use uniquely local setting rather than mimicking London or Paris. Washington arriving gave us American folklore with the legend of Sleepy Hollow. James Fenimore Cooper created the frontier adventure with the Lost of the Mohicans. Colonial literature abroad in places like India. This period saw the beginning of Anglo-Indian literature. This was initially written by British officers and travelers like James Todd, but it laid the groundwork for the complex literary exchange that followed. The Gothic subcurrent. It's worth noting that near the end of this period, the 1790s to 1830s century, the Gothic began to seep in. Authors like Charles Bracton, Brown, and the young Edgar Allan Poe started exploring the dark side of the new territories, the anxiety of a new society built on stolen land, and the fear of the unknown. Thank you. This is a short lecture of colonial and early colonial period. I hope you well understood.